Welcome to the Leveling the Build Plate video, which is part of the MakerBot Replicator 3D printer video series. In this video, we will explain how to level the build plate on the MakerBot 3D printers with step-by-step instructions. The MakerBot 2 and 2X have three knobs underneath the build platform. To level the build plate, you need to adjust these. Tightening the knobs, or turning them to the right, lowers the build plate away from the extruder nozzle, as there are springs between the build plate and the build platform. Loosening the knobs, or turning them to the left, raises the build plate up towards the extruder nozzle, as it allows the springs to expand. Why does the build plate need to be leveled? If the build plate is too far from the extruder nozzle, your print may not stick to the build plate. And if the build plate is too close to the extruder nozzle, it can block the filament from coming out of the nozzle and also scratch the build plate. Leveling the build plate helps ensure that prints stick to the build plate and will also reduce errors in prints. We will now start going through the steps of leveling the build plate. When you turn the MakerBot on, the screen will display the shown options. Press the down key to scroll down to the Utilities option, and then press the M key to select it. The screen will then display the shown options. Scroll down until you reach the Level Build Plate option, and then press the M key to select it. The screen will then inform you to tighten each of the three knobs under the build platform about 4 turns. Doing this will lower the build plate slightly. Once you have tightened the three knobs, press the M key to continue. The screen will then inform you, I'm going to move my extruder around to different points so you can check, and press the M key again, the height. At each point, loosen the specified knob until the nozzle almost touches the build plate. The nozzle is at the right height when a thin piece of paper will slide between the nozzle and the build plate with some friction, and then press the M key to continue. Each of the MakerBots come with a business card, as shown. What the screen display means is that you should adjust the knobs to the level where you are just able to slide this business card between the build plate and the nozzle. When doing this, you should be able to feel the smallest amount of friction when sliding it, but it should slide through easily without damaging the card. The extruder will then move to the back of the build plate, and the screen will display. Adjust the rear knob until paper just slides between the nozzle and plate. Do this as demonstrated in the image and press the M key. The extruder will then move to above the right-hand knob, the display screen saying, adjust front right knob until paper just slides between nozzle and plate. Once done, press M again. The extruder will then move to the left, the screen saying, adjust front left knob until paper just slides between nozzle and plate. Once done, press M again. The screen will then inform you, I'm going to send my extruder to all 3 points again to recheck. Press M to continue. The screen will then display, adjust the rear knob until paper just slides between the nozzle and plate, and you will need to adjust the rear knob again. When doing the paper test during the second round, the paper should still slide between the two, but with slightly more friction than before. Once you have done this, press the M key. The extruder will move further out to the right this time, and the screen inform you, adjust front right knob until paper just slides between nozzle and plate. Once done, press M again. Whilst this may seem tedious, the second round of adjusting the plate is necessary to ensure that it's level and therefore reduce errors in your model, so please don't skip the paper testing. It will then tell you to do the left-hand knob again with the extruder further out to the left. Once completed, press M again. The screen will then inform you, let's triple check, paper should just slide between nozzle and plate, and the extruder will move to the center of the build plate. This check is the most important one. Please be sure not to force the paper between the nozzle and plate. It should still slide through easily with a moderate amount of friction. If you cannot slide it through, it's recommended that you restart the leveling the build plate process again. Once you have finished this, press the M key one last time, and you have finished leveling the build plate. This concludes our leveling the build plate video. If you haven't already, please watch some of our other videos on using the MakerBots and their software.